Hello everyone, this is Monk Media, and we are back again looking at Alvin and the Chipmunks Season 1. This time we're looking at Episode 22A, Mutiny, an episode that revolves around the Chipmunks trying to argue about who is going to lead their soccer team or football team in the upcoming tournament. Let's take a look. Simon looks miserable, but we have no idea why he looks miserable. Is it because he spends so much time with Alvin? The show begins to set up the story, but does it in a sort of inappropriate way. Depends how you look at that. 8-1 or something else. How did Alvin get paper inside an unopened bag of chips? All of the Chipettes just happen to wake up at the same time. The scene cuts to this shot and Brittany has only just spotted this arrow. And it makes me wonder, why did it take her so long? But then I look at her bed. It's completely made and untouched. So she probably got out of bed, made the bed, and then only just noticed the arrow. All three of the Chipettes go to the same window. Just the right one to make them see what they're supposed to see. How would Alvin have reacted if they went to a different window? Perhaps he had the 8-1 set up from outside every perspective of their windows, just in case. Both the Chipmunks and the Chipettes come outside in their pajamas. Presumably this is more important than their well-being. Even Brittany clamps her arms because it's cold. Only Alvin can explain the 8-1. But what if it wasn't Alvin and he didn't know? Then what would they have done? So, Alvin was capable of getting up, having a shower, getting dressed, going out, doing all these 8-1s, and then playing on his skateboard for a while until everyone else woke up and looked at the 8-1s. How did Alvin get up that early? It's Alvin. Jeanette, the smart one, can't remember something that they do every year. The episode is so incredibly fluent in its animation, it almost makes it seem as though it's in 60 frames per second. A couple seconds of silence as a reaction. Cliché. Everyone looks concerned at Alvin over the 8-1. It's as though he has some kind of mental issue. Alvin takes soccer way too seriously. You can actually see Brittany's eyes and facial expressions moving as Theodore talks, even though you're not paying attention to her. That is a good attention to detail. I love the stripes going down their backs. It's just so different.
Ever heard the term, let it go? Oh, why yes I have, Brittany. Let it go, let it go.
The show leaves out everybody getting changed, but they happen to be in exactly the same spot they were in the previous scene. Theodore is clearly the first one in line, but when we have the close-up, we see Jeanette first. Brittany is the only one to point out that the picture's upside down. Why is that? The characters in this shot are so neatly arranged, you can almost make a triangle out of their heads. Once again, Brittany stands up and says something, where everyone else just stays quiet. You've got to love how subtle Brittany's body language is. It develops her character all by itself. We are shown what the Chipmunks looked like a year before the events of this episode, and they don't look any different.
Good, 'cause now I'm going to kill you!
Brittany once again tries to kill Alvin. Eleanor is an ironic character. She's sort of overweight, but is also athletic. Eleanor Crazy Eyes. Brittany conveniently covers Alvin's mouth before he can insult Eleanor's weight. If you listen to it, he actually says there's a big difference between Eleanor and an athlete, ultimately saying that she's fat.
Cheer up, Alvin. It's not whether you win or lose. It's how you look doing it.
Considering that soccer is basically watching 22 millionaires run around a field, kicking a bag of air all day, it is pretty much how you look doing it. Alvin starts to dream, and it looks like Brittany is literally the girl of his dreams. Though she is an awful goalkeeper. Okay, so the others are there too, but disregard them because you saw Brittany first. Considering all the messed up dreams the Chipmunks have in this show, this one was kind of tame. Behold! Eleanor sleeping. That's not creepy at all. Eleanor's response is justified. Alvin did break into their house. Eleanor is the only character that has had the most drastic change of all of them. Not only does she have a new voice actor, but The way that she's characterized has changed dramatically as well. Her vocabulary has changed and it's sort of presented in a different way, and she's less cutesy than she's ever been before. And it makes her have a more mature feel. It's almost as if she doesn't fit in with the rest of the Chipmunks at all. Theodore plays soccer just like I do. Terribly. And so does Brittany. Brittany also plays soccer like I do. You kick the ball one way and it goes another. Oh, how I hate soccer. Jeanette's legs are really scrawny. It's so strange how I can relate to this episode so much. Eleanor even has my positivity. Brittany was aiming for the goal but kicked the ball in the opposite direction. Basically, that's a metaphor for life. I can't wait to see the ball roll over them. This guy has a ridiculous voice. I cannot reiterate enough how different Eleanor seems to the rest of the characters. It's almost as if she's from a different show. Eleanor makes the rest of the characters submissively shocked.
From now on, we are going to eat, drink, and breathe soccer.
My personal idea of a living hell. When the camera cuts back to the Chipmunks, Alvin and Jeanette have swapped sides. A minute ago, they were on the left-hand side. Now they're on the right. Eleanor is the Gordon Ramsay of soccer. The Chipettes and the Chipmunks listen to what Eleanor has to say, but for some reason Eleanor doesn't join them in the run around the neighbourhood. David Beckham is referenced. Yes, I had to research who that was. In the display window of the camera looking at Brittany, you can only see up to the bottom of her chest. However, when you see the actual shot through the camera, you can see her whole body. Jeanette is easily distracted. A warped background effect. A fantastic addition. And now talking about the song in this episode, it's actually quite bouncy. It works to what's going on the screen, and it's actually quite nice to listen to. Despite the theme of the episode, of course. I wonder if the Chipmunks actually had a bit of thought into laying like a star. This TV show isn't known for crude humour, which is a good thing. But Eleanor mentions a but it's just a vague, one-off reference, and it's fine. It's shots like this that can start Brittany and Eleanor fanfictions. Brittany is made to look like a giant to represent her authority. Also, could she wear those shorts any higher up? Brittany has it dead on. Personally, I think that all soccer players look like they're doing their nails. Shake, shake, pass. Theodore thinks he has street cred. This is literally like the 5th time we've had a close-up on any of the characters' behinds. Somehow, the Chipmunks gain access to their classroom. Kicking the ball at a constant 45-degree angle will mean you have to have constant use of measuring devices as you're playing, which I'm pretty sure you can't use on a soccer field. The positions in which the Chipettes sleep says a lot about their character.
Be the ball. Be the ball.
They agree to do this. Nope, I honestly can't come up with a reason as to why the shot is looking from between Jeanette's legs. Other than showing her in shot and them on the floor. Nope, can't really think of anything. It's just kind of awkward. Theodore makes a terrible soccer coach. Simon must have hawk-like eyes, which is hard to believe since he wears glasses. These guys are real jerks. Eleanor surmises that all of their abilities or the things that they tried to suggest that would win the match ultimately come together to win the match. Alvin and the Chipmunks forces me to watch a game of soccer. I'm already bored. If it wasn't for the music, I would be, that is. The Chipmunks and the Chipettes won to the exact same score they lost to a year ago. How convenient. And so that brings us to the end of the episode, and honestly, I didn't think much to it. Yes, it has a lot of good conflict and the story's really well written, but call me biased, but I don't like soccer. And the episode was completely revolving around soccer, though it did develop the characters a little bit, and it was entertaining to watch. I'll say that. It's just the theme, no. Anyway, guys, tell me what you thought of this episode in the comment section below. Who was your favourite character? Mine was definitely Brittany because shake, shake, pass. Anyway, guys, don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video.